You are watching the Cooking with Rob show.
Hey there, today's another good day. It's a good day for two reasons. Number one, it's beautiful out today. Skies are blue, the birds are tweeting, all the leaves have come out on the trees. It's a great day to be outside. And the second reason is that I'm going to cook something on my smoker that I've never made before. I'm going to make a pastrami. A pastrami is basically a beef brisket that has been brined to get some flavors into it. It's then coated with a pepper-based rub. It's smoked and then steamed a bit and then sliced and served. They're delicious. I've had some in New York, which are awesome, but you know where I've had really good pastrami, which they actually called smoked meat? It's up in Montreal, Canada. They have a bunch of restaurants and delis up there that make smoked meat sandwiches that are incredible. It's basically pastrami. I'm going to take a little shortcut on my pastrami making adventure. I'm actually not going to brine my brisket. I'm going to use a already brined piece of brisket called a corned beef to start the whole process of making this pastrami. This corned beef I bought actually around St. Patrick's Day and froze it for a few months. I'm going to take this and actually soak it in water for a little while to remove some of the salts. Then I'm going to take it, coat it with a nice pepper-based rub. I'll show you how to make that. I'm going to smoke it just like a brisket up to about 165. Cover it, steam it a little bit, let it rest, slice it, and then serve it on rye bread. This is going to be good. Let's make some pastrami. We're going to start this cooking process by taking this corned beef brisket. This happens to be a point cut and it's about 5.5 pounds. We're going to take this corned beef, open it up and rinse it off a bit. There's lots of salts that have been cured into this meat. We're going to try to pull some of those salts out because corned beef's a little bit salty for pastrami. So we're going to rinse it off and then soak it in some water for a few hours. I'm going to take this corned beef and put it into a nice big bowl. Coat it with some cold water, and we're going to put it in the fridge for a while. This will go into the refrigerator every couple of hours. I'm going to change out the water to help pull some of the salts out of this corned beef. Not all the salt, just some of them. Then after 4 or 5 hours, I'm going to put some rub on this and throw it in the smoker. Store-bought corned beefs always come with little flavor spice packets. We are not going to be using these for our pastrami. We are going to be making our own rub, which is going to be pretty pepper forward. So let's make that rub now. To make our rub for the pastrami, we are going to have 1/2 cup of coarse ground peppercorns, 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of granulated garlic, 2 tablespoons of ground coriander, tablespoon of ground mustard, a tablespoon of onion powder, and finally a tablespoon of paprika. Mix it up, and then put it into a nice container that we are going to use to apply the rub to our brisket. This corned beef has been soaking in the water for about 6 hours. I change the water every couple hours. It pulled some of the salt out, I'm sure, so now it's time to apply this pastrami rub that we made. I'm going to apply quite a bit of it here. Get all the sides. Not going to be shy with the seasoning this time. Usually I'm pretty light on my seasoning, but this pastrami, we want to get a nice pepper kick in there, and this rub has plenty of pepper in it. This is looking pretty good. Very well covered. I'm going to now cover this up with some plastic wrap and put it in my refrigerator. Tomorrow morning, we're going to throw it on the smoker. See you in the morning.
Early the next morning.
Welcome to another great day. My tiny little smoker is almost up to temp. Soon we'll put the pastrami on it. This pastrami has been resting in the refrigerator overnight. Had a little time to soak up some of these spices. I'm going to hit it with a little bit more of our homemade pastrami rub before putting it on the smoke. Again, I'm not going to be shy here. Put the temperature probe in. We are going to cook this now until it hits about 165. It's going to be a few hours. We are 2 hours into the cook. It's 109 degrees internal temp. Still got a bit to go. The pellets I'm using for today's cook are a combination of apple and pecan. We are 3 hours in. It's now up to 147. Probably have another 45 minutes or so before this gets to 165. I think I got time to cut the grass. That's looking a lot better. And it looks like we're at 160 now. A few more minutes. We hit the temperature I was looking for. Actually, we're at 169, which is good. I'm going to take this pastrami off and put it into a pan with a little rack in it. We're going to finish this in the oven. To finish the cooking of this pastrami, we're going to steam it in the oven. I have the oven set to 250 degrees. I'm going to put some beef broth in here. Wish I had some nice rubber gloves for this. I just have hot pads. A little bit of beef broth in there. That'll heat up, boil a bit, steam this a bit. So we're looking for this to get up to about 203, 205. And then we'll let it rest for a while and slice it and have a great pastrami sandwich. There, it's good and sealed. Steam will start developing in there and we're going to cook it until it's done. It's now 2.5 hours later and we are at 203 degrees. Oh, that's looking spectacular. I'm going to cover this back up and we're going to let it rest for a while. The pastrami is all done. It's been resting for a while, so I think it's time that we cut into it. Looks a little dark, but you know, I think we're going to have a surprise here. Oh yeah. Wow. This looks phenomenal. Time to try it. I don't know what to say. It is so good. Wow, that peppery hit gives you a nice kick. Tender, just delicious. I'm gonna make a sandwich. I have some nice light rye bread here. I'm gonna start off with a little bit of mustard. Yellow mustard. Now let's get some pastrami. Not going to be light on the pastrami here. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. A little bit of Swiss cheese. Well, this definitely looks good enough to eat. So guess what? I'm gonna eat it. Well, that was a little bit of work making pastrami for the first time, but you know what? I think all that work paid off. That's a lot of pastrami. This is a way to have it. You know, I learned a few things. This is so tasty. It's peppery. There's a bit of salt from the corned beef in there. That yellow mustard really gives it a nice tang. And this rye bread, soft, delicious. I'll be making pastrami again, that's for sure. Hey, you know what? I had a great day. I hope whatever you're doing, you're having a great day too. See you next time.